Then I'll give it 1 minute and I will get us live on Facebook. Oh, we already have some folks joining. Let me see who's here. Raymond Ward, Susan Aram, Jean Curtis, Cornelia Flora. It's so exciting to see everyone's names. I want to say it's nice to see your faces, but I only see your names, but I know you're there.
Christine, waiting for people to join us. I have to ask about your background there.
Oh, well, that's part of my story I'm going to share with you today.
Good.
Yeah, since I was little, this has been a part of my DNA. So you'll get to hear part of my journey.
Excellent. That sounds great. It's so great to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for all the work that you guys do. I'm super excited you're getting an award at our Iowa Division Isaac Walton League conference this Saturday.
I know it. It's very exciting. We are very honored.
Yeah, well, you guys deserve it. You're front and center with everything.
It's one of those times of the year, right, where the lots of things are happening. They're happening on the farm. They're happening at the legislature. They're happening in Washington, D.C. It's, lots and lots happening.
There's many things happening. It's hard to keep track. There's not enough hours in the day.
That's right.
I struggle with that all the time.
Yeah.
So everyone in the audience, as I get the live stream going, tell us where you're joining from today. It's fun to know where you all are. And it's refreshing to have Christine on this side of things because she's all in the audience. I always see, Christine Curry pop up under the attendee list.
Yeah, you guys have great programs. Always fun I learned so much. It really is a lunch and learn, and the time frame is just perfect.
Okay, Karen Varley and Stewart. There's David Andrews in Nevada, our executive director. He's probably in the office today. Third County, Jan Norris in Red Oak, St. Louis, Missouri. Amazing. Aurora, Colorado. I'd love to see when the group is spread out like this. Well, we are recording. I'll post this recording to YouTube later on. We're also live streaming on IFU's Facebook page. So you can go there and you can share the recording, rewatch it, whatever. Right now, as soon as it's over, it is there. So Aaron, I think it's time. Do you want to get us started today?
I sure will. Well, welcome everyone. This is the Iowa Farmers Union Lunch and Learn series, and we are so grateful to be joined by our guest today, Christine Curry, and an additional guest, Chris Henning. Thank you for being with us, guys.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. We'll get started with our conversation in just a second, but we want to give a couple reminders for folks about some upcoming Farmers Union activities. One activity that you've been hearing about from us on all sorts of media channels, either through emails or social media or in the statewide media, we have a community listening session going on April 20th. That's Saturday, starting at 10:30 in Nevada. And we are so grateful that we're going to be joined by the Federal Trade Commission Chair, Lena Khan, who has been and all over the media talking about monopolies and their impact on our economy. And she is coming to Iowa, and she's going to hold a listening session with us in Nevada at the Gatherings Meeting Place on Main Street. So go to the link in the chat and click on it and learn all about it and register and share your opinion about consolidation in agriculture with the Federal Trade Commission Chair, Lena Khan. It is a fantastic opportunity. We know it's busy. It's an extremely busy time. There's all sorts of great activities going on in Iowa this time of year. Our farmers are very busy in the field. We hope that folks will be able to break away for this opportunity to share their opinion. And it's on the heels of a very disturbing announcement that the Koch brothers are planning to purchase the fertilizer facility in Weaver, Iowa, the facility that the state of Iowa spent $500 million building in order to combat consolidation in the fertilizer industry. And this proposed sale is so dangerous to that impact. So we have the right time with the right audience, and we're very honored to be working with our partners at State Innovation Exchange and J.D. Schulten, and other state legislators. And National Farmers Union President Rob LaRue will be in attendance as well. So we're looking forward to that very, very much. So sign up, go to the chat, go to the link in the chat, and learn all about signing up and share your thoughts on the impact on consolidation in agriculture, what this means on your farm, whether it be higher prices, fewer suppliers to choose from. Tell that story from your perspective on your farm and what it means for Iowa agriculture. So I'll stop there, but it's a really exciting opportunity. That's the only announcement that I have for today, Christina. We should jump right into our very exciting conversation today that we're going to be having with Christine Curry from Studio 2 Productions. And we want to learn all about her work in this very exciting area. Christine, thank you for joining us. Share with us, and we're really looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you so much. I just want to do a quick shout out to the League of Women Voters, Upper Mississippi River region. They secured a grant to exhibit the Pure Water Mississippi watershed panels throughout several events, which I'm going to be heading to Muscatine Library for Earth Day. So I just wanted to do a quick shout out for that. So this presentation is focused in on the Mississippi watershed and why I did this art project. My love for nature, animals, and water has been a part of my DNA since early childhood. Family trips to visit my grandparents in California were filled with outside adventures at the beach, at SeaWorld, and at the Wild Animal Park. I loved picking up seashells, sea stars, and touching dolphins. This retro photo captures that moment in time, with me on the left side, my mama Charlotte in the middle, and my twin sister Tamara on the right. I so wanted to have dolphins swimming in a pond in my backyard in Iowa, and I just couldn't figure out why that couldn't be possible at this time during my journey. At 9 years old, I started a reptile club. I wanted to protect these amazing creatures and share with others about the waterways in which they live. And the Des Moines Register took notice of our open house signs for the reptile club at one of the street corners. The next day, we made the front page. This was super exciting. We had frogs, turtles, and snakes. I remember collecting tadpoles and crawdads from farm creeks and ponds, which is a little bit difficult these days. The smell of that rich black soil with the warm summer breeze of filled grasses is forever etched in my memory. I love that smell of summer. As a young adult, I moved to San Diego, California, where I pursued my interest and career working with marine animals and environmental issues in food cultivation. In 2000, I moved to the Caribbean, where I continued my advocacy for furthering environmental, marine, and agriculture projects. I spent over a decade on the ground, where I initiated and developed a post-Hurricane Ivan nonprofit goat dairy project on the island of Grenada in the West Indies, where we made delicious quality goat dairy products for the local market. And I'm proud to say that it's still in operation today. I have had the privilege and opportunity to work with people from all walks of life, from leading researchers, veterinarians, and scientists to individuals from marginalized rural communities. In this world, no matter where I've lived, I've used my creativity and incorporated my art with all of my projects, programs, and organizations that I have been involved with throughout my life. And now it continues in my home state of Iowa. I am a homecomer and proud of it. Returning to Iowa was truly a full circle moment for me in many ways. All of my global experiences are connected, and this has led me to my current mission. Iowa's water quality issues are dire. Most everybody on this Zoom or this call knows that. Clean water needs to be a top priority for both public health and recreation. I'm going to share with you why clean water matters and how I found one of my solutions using art to ignite a larger movement of awareness with action. So this image is super powerful to me and symbolic for many reasons. It reflects my Iowa roots, with my mother standing next to the deep roots of a native prairie grass at Neil Smith National Wildlife Refuge. I mean, just look at the size of those roots. My mother is like 5'8", she used to be 5'10", but you can see how much taller these roots are. It's amazing. Upon my return to Iowa 8 years ago, I found myself at my first Iowa Environmental Council meeting, where I met many of the people that I'm currently working with today. This impacted my life and journey here, equally important as my Reptile Club's mission to protect life and the waterways in which we live. At this conference, I learned the truth about the deteriorating health of Iowa. My precious Iowa was much worse than I thought it was. I learned that the health of our water quality and soil loss is worsening yearly, despite the millions of dollars supporting voluntary conservation efforts. Our native deep-rooted prairie once covered 85% of Iowa's landscape. Less than 1% remains today. We have the most altered landscape of any place on Earth. Over the past 200 years, we have managed to alter this native land. It is now covered with an unsustainable, intensive two-crop system, along with 25 million pigs and millions of other concentrated feeding, animal feeding operations. I realized that my home state of Iowa is one of the major contributors to the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico, and it is also contributing to climate change. Our Iowa is not as landlocked as I once thought. Former colleagues of mine are conducting research on contaminant levels in marine mammals in the Gulf. As an Iowa homecomer, learning these facts activated me to dig further into our deep-rooted landscape and made me want to be part of the change. Did you know that the Mississippi is one of the cleanest warm rivers until it hits Iowa? Did you know that Iowa is number 2 for cancer in the nation, with rates climbing every year? The problem with Iowa's water is it is extremely polluted, and in some cases it could kill you. The good news is that we, the people, have the power to change this. You can be part of that solution. We really can turn this around and help Iowa become a true leader in regenerative agriculture production and have healthy soil and clean water for all life. Iowa has some of the best farmers, researchers, and scientists in the world, and many of you know them, and many of you are them. We know what needs to be done. For me, art is part of that solution. And I found one of my solutions while watching a CBS Sunday morning segment on Andy Warhol. That was it. I knew that I would create a pop art project with an environmental message in a language that would capture people who are otherwise not likely to attend an event or a conference inspired by data, stream biology, and farming. Andy Warhol is spot on. And to quote, "I think having land and not ruining it is the most beautiful art that anybody could ever want." I actually found this quote after I was almost done with my with this phase of this art project. So it's super just beautifully put and in serendipity in many ways. My Pure Iowa water project depicts a fictitious company that bottles water directly from 6 real streams. It is a tongue-in-cheek play on the fact that our water is not pure by using oversized 2D and 3D advertising graphics and labels for 16-ounce aluminum cans, along with a video to ignite a larger movement of awareness and with action on behalf of cleaner water. In addition to the 6 rural streams, my project features and showcases conservation farmer champions from each of the represented watersheds to show how land management can be part of that solution. Their conservation farming practices significantly help keep our soil healthy and our water clean. I'm extremely grateful that our Raccoon River farmer champion, Chris Henning, is with us today. And I understand that our Mississippi River farmer champion, Ann Wolf, is also with us today. So thank you so much for being here. So this image was taken at the Carnegie Library in Perry, Iowa. It was with one of Neil Hamilton's book talks on the River Nose. And this represents awareness. Awareness is key because of the consistent stream monitoring through the Save Squirrel Hollow group of concerned citizens led by Chris Henning. A few months back, a neighbor noticed the horrible smell and black water. I actually have a sample, but you probably can't see it, but this is a month later, just to give you an example. And this is really the real water that they were collecting every day. Notice that horrible smell and black water in Shiner Creek, which is a tributary of the Raccoon River. And immediate actions were taken with the Iowa Department of Natural Resources. It ends up that there was a huge pipe break from one of the large pig confinement facilities that's connected to this waterway. Besides the awareness, one other positive aspect of nature taking care of things like this was there was a large beaver dam that prevented thousands of gallons from entering into the Raccoon River, which provides drinking water for over 500,000 people in central Iowa. So this is just one beautiful example of what happens when people in your community are looking around and monitoring their environment. Thanks, Chris, for that great effort. How can you be part of this change? We can. Remember, we have the power. People have this power. 100 years ago, the Izaak Walton League led a movement of concerned citizens, including 2 million women, which resulted in the Upper Mississippi River National Wildlife and Fish Refuge, which protects 261 miles of habitat through the Upper Mississippi watershed. You can, on this slide, you can see where that is located, and also a little clip from one of the articles over 100 years ago with the women who were leading this. And this was just a few years after they were legal to vote. It's time again for us all to work together. We can and we must take action to save the nation's waterways to ensure a future for clean water. This next clip is part of the video component of this project with a clever little jingle from Jenny Padden, who is a local actress, singer, and songwriter in Des Moines. When I was looking around to try to find an actress to be part of the video, I met Jenny, And she shared with me a couple of the other jingles that she had written. And I said, oh man, Jenny, can you do a jingle for this project? And she did. So this is the video component. And I understand maybe some of the sound might not work. So I encourage you to go click on it later, but this is the video.
We are what we drink, so think, Iowans think, what we put into our waters affects our sons and daughters. A healthy future we secure by keeping water sources pure. So let's have pure Iowa pure, pure Iowa pure. Let's have pure Iowa pure sparkling water. Here we have it, folks. Pure Iowa sparkling stream water. Iowa's best. Just listen to these delightful ingredients. Contains a blend of 100% pure natural ingredients. Nitrogen, phosphorus, manure.
Warning, contains contaminants known to cause cancer and other hazardous health concerns for humans, animals, and plants.
Herbicides, industrial chemicals, 100% pure. You should get some today from your local stream. A healthy future is secure by keeping water sources pure. So let's have pure Iowa pure, pure Iowa pure. Let's have pure Iowa pure sparkling water.
Okay, so think, Iowans think, be part of the solution, take action. I encourage you to go to the Isaac Walton League's Nitrate Watch and sign up for that. It's a great way to take your first steps and share this with your family and friends in the rural communities throughout the Mississippi watershed. Test your wells, streams, and other waterways. And also you can check out the Isaac Walton League's Action Alert page. And I also just want to share with you, you can have this or this. The choice is yours. Just remember that sometimes this is filled with bad chemicals that you can't see too. So test, 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 and be part of the change. Thank you.
That was fantastic, Christine. Thank you. And I think everyone got a wonderful preview of all the activities that are mentioned a little bit. So people should check the Isaac Walton League and their collaborators on all those events. I know that Christina is putting the link in the chat as well. And Chris Henning, thank you for being part of the conversation today too.
Thanks, Aaron. It's fun to be here. It's fun to see this actually for the first time all the way through. And to know that we have updates, not wonderful updates, but updates. I've known Christine for a long time with the Raccoon River Watershed Association, and I've been fighting CAFOs, hog confinements, in my area for ages, so long I don't even want to remember. And the pure Iowa water from what we call Shiner Creek was testing. We've been doing testing to set a baseline for what was going into our Raccoon River, which is your drinking water in Des Moines. And we started that about a year before a hog confinement was built very near my house. And I have 4 creeks that also go to the river. Well, this creek doesn't happen to be one of them, where this water that Christine actually has water from about a month after the spill happened. 600,000 gallons, hog manure, and thankfully a beaver that we've named Theodore lives there, or did up until just this last week. And his dams kept that water from our part of the Raccoon River, a mile away. And So anyway, that we can get this kind of, that may be an interesting story to some of us who are activists, but it doesn't tell the story like Christine can tell the story with her art, with her showing the difference between clean water and not so clean water. And it's really, really, really hard to get the word out here in the country where farmers rule, or where farmers don't pay as much attention to beavers and clean water as they do their corn yields. And I'm a farmer. And so trying to get the word out, I come across strident. Christine, a step away and with some humor, can get that word out so much differently than it takes all of us. It takes all of us. The stream is empty, has been emptied 3 times now since August. They had to empty out the manure, and then they flushed their, it was a county tile that came into an actual stream that brought all of that manure in. So they had to flush that county tile, and then they had to basically pump all of that out as well. And the beaver persevered and kept putting his dam back up and kept letting it fill back up with water. And we were actually seeing ducks and some wildlife and birds coming back. And he was busy as a beaver, we say. And there are tilers in the area, and the farmer who farms the land around that particular pond determined that that beaver ate too much corn last year. And so he got permission and has removed the dam, and probably will trap the beaver if the beaver survived that. And now we're on to activism of a different sort. The DNR helped us a whole bunch in getting that all cleaned up. And now we've got the DNR telling him he can take out the beaver dam. So a fuss is being made as we speak. And we'll get Christine's information out, and a lot of play in the news around here. So.
Well, that's great to hear, Chris. Let me ask Christine, this is just the start of our conversation, but tell us, the approach that you've taken to do outreach on these really important issues is not the typical outreach approach, but how has it been effective in new ways in bringing the message to the rest of Iowa?
Well, it was actually unveiled at the Nature Summit in November. So this is just kind of the beginning, really, as far as a traveling exhibit. The feedback has been really good. I've had a lot of people that, really think that it's a real company, and they want to know, like, where can I buy this water? and because I've made it look so real, and actually, the actual cans. Let me go get it real quick. It won't take but a second.
Really is very realistic looking.
This was my original prototypes. I actually made my labels and wrapped them around real cans. And then I had to work with, technology to get them onto the screen. But each represented waterway has a stream description on it, and then a list of the ingredients with the warning label. But if there's a relevant QR code, it takes you back to learn more information about that stream. The Mississippi River, this takes you back to the endangered rivers, the American River. So they all are real information. And then the farmer champions have a brief description about all their contributions as well.
So, and we'll encourage people to learn all about our champions and the work they're doing and this work. What makes you the most optimistic after completing this project and bringing it to the rest of Iowa?
Well, I love making celebrities out of our people who are doing great things for Iowa. In addition to the farmer champions, we now have nature champions and watershed champions. Steve Vasey's on one of the first watershed champions. He's been involved with Bloody Run. Chris Jones is lined up next. We're going on, but we're going to have a full collection. And someday, hopefully, we'll have space to just pop all of these champions up and make them as popular as Caitlin Clark's. That's my goal, is to make these household names and of all the great champions that are doing great works for Iowa and beyond.
Well, and that led right into my next question about what's the next step in it, and you laid out a couple of next steps with the project. Where do you see the project headed after that?
Well, again, I hope to have the additional phases of the project, which are to include the nature champions and the watershed champions as a component, as an extension of this project. And there's many more farmer champions to capture. Let's face it, there's a lot of fabulous champions, and this is just the beginning of that.
That's right. And the Rotary clubs and everybody that I talk to, can Christine come and see us? And can the panels come? We've had a lot. And it brings a different vibe than me going, oh my. And we see that more people know about it, more people ask about it, and can be, I mean, the reason that I even knew that there was a spill was that people knew we were testing the water and called me and said, have you seen? And I hadn't. And we took that first test and went, oh my, and called the DNR right away. And they came and they were like, oh my. So
Right.
It just takes lots of people watching and getting the word out that we really can do something.
It really is the power of people. And in this example of the Save Squirrel Hollow, through the Save Our Streams program, Isaac Walton League, that's all the data goes into the hub. It's the data is available. You can track it. You can see the spikes when it rains, and there's some. It's just a wonderful way to get citizens involved.
Well, it really is. It's and I think that so much of the reaction we're seeing kind of amplifies that message that the cause deserves an emotional and intellectual response that works together. And that's what I really enjoy about the project so far, is it really touches people in new and different ways, and bring attention to things that we all know we need to be paying even more attention to. So thank you so much, Christine, and thank you, Chris, for being here. We'll encourage people to pick up the conversation where we've left it off and learn more all about it and find ways to bring this message into your community. I'm glad that people are reaching out and asking for the presentation to come to their own community as well. That's great news. So
it's so great to have Farmers Union with these programs and lifting up our messages. Thank you.
Well, again, everyone, thank you for being with us. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Christina Dexter, for pulling this all together. It was a wonderful presentation. We're glad people were able to join us today. I'm going to remind people about some upcoming things. We have a community listening session with FTC Chair Lena Kahn coming to Iowa to talk about agriculture consolidation and the proposed sale of the Weaver, Iowa fertilizer plant to the Koch brothers, among other consolidation issues. So please sign up and come and share your thoughts with FTC Chair Lena Kahn. National Farmers Union President Rob LaRue will be there, and J.D. Schulten, Iowa representative, is going to serve as our moderator. So we're looking forward to a great event there. This is part of the Iowa Farmers Union Lunch and Learn series. It is our outreach effort to bring important issues regarding family farming and sustainable agriculture and our rural communities. And we encourage you to be a Farmers Union member. It helps us put on programs like this. It helps us bring FTC Chair Lena Kahn to Iowa for a listening session with Iowa farmers. It helps our efforts at the State House. It helps us bring our farmers to Washington, D.C. to have our opinions known, and it helps us bring these education programs out to the public. So if you haven't had a chance to become a Farmers Union member yet, please do so today. Your support is extremely important. So thank you, Christine, again, and Chris, thank you for joining us. And Christina, thank you as always. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Christina and Chris.
Thanks,
Thank you, Christine.
Gratitude to
Have a
everybody.
good day, everyone.